equipped with a sheet, and you may wake up and find yourself being trundled off to the nearest mortuary just for sleeping in one day. What's more, marijuana is effective against Alzheimer's disease. You don't give it to the patient, though. You smoke it yourself so you won't catch it. Some people believe if you smoke enough pot, you won't get Alzheimer's. But I can't remember if that's true or not. Suppose you're in excellent health. Maybe you're one of those old-timers who runs in marathons and climbs mountains and lives on wheat germ. Can you still use marijuana? Of course you can. Pot's value as a recreational drug is well known. It's especially good for shut-ins since they can take a trip without leaving their room.
Time for your trip, George.
Great, I'm raring to go. Anyone see Marlon Perkins?
All right, let's get more specific. How do you get marijuana? The feds say pot is illegal in every state, including the ones that okayed medical marijuana laws recently. If they catch you with pot, they could send you to the big house for life. That means you have to learn to be devious and cunning. Trust no one. Don't leave roaches or clips in ashtrays in your car or anywhere else. Be creative in hiding your pot. Ladies can hide it in their bras. Nobody's going to reach into an old lady's bra if he can help it. If you've got a job and they make you take a drug test, claim you inhaled secondhand smoke from some ne'er-do-wells who hang out in your condo. Who knows? Worked for that guy in the Olympics. Now for some tips on how to buy marijuana. One reliable source is the Hells Angels. These guys always have pot for sale. Stop any biker you see on the street and place an order.
Hey, buddy, what can I do for you?
Listen, I'm fresh out of marijuana. Pot. You got any extra pot in your bag there?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, good.
Probably be,
Oh, there you go, man. Yeah, here you go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Did I get a senior citizen's discount?
I don't think so.
Oh, God.
Or, if there's a Hells Angels clubhouse near you, why, just drop in and pick up a quick ounce. Tell them I sent you. It's a good idea to buy marijuana at night, as the guys who sell pot only work nights. And never go alone. You should always travel in packs, as most gangbangers are intimidated by the sight of 7 or 8 senior citizens heading their way with their walkers and canes and seeing eye dogs. The thugs are afraid the old-timers might drop dead on them and they'll be charged with murder or worse. Only take enough cash for the pot. No jewelry, gold watches, credit cards, nothing. You can park close to the building in the handicap spot to expedite your getaway if pursued. Remember to wear rubber-soled shoes in case something goes awry and you have to run fast and jump over things.
You know, I can run like a deer with these babies.
As you can see, getting marijuana isn't easy. If you can't buy pot, you can always grow it under lights in your own home, but it's a tricky business unless you've got a green thumb. And you've got to watch out for the feds. If they catch you growing marijuana, they can seize your house and your seeing eye dog under the drug forfeiture laws. One way to grow pot is to throw some seeds over the fence behind your neighbor's garage. And grow it there, so if the feds find it, they'll seize his house and not yours. If you live in San Diego or on the Florida coast, you may find marijuana washed up on the beach in bales. If you should find a bale or two, call me at once. I'm in the book. I'm fully licensed to store pot and will see that it's distributed to sick old folks across the state. Of course, I'll have to deduct a small amount, say 50%, for expenses, but you may be assured most of the rest of it will go to the needy. Whatever you do, don't turn it into the cops. They'll pose with the swag, and the chief will give you a handshake like the one the bank president gave W.C. Fields in the bank dick after he caught the robber and saved the bank's money. And then the cops will take the pot down to the police station and smoke it themselves. Okay, once you have your marijuana, how do you use the stuff? Now we're into joints and pipes and cookie recipes. The most popular way to use marijuana is smoking it in a joint. A joint is a marijuana cigarette that looks like this. The well-crafted joint is light, portable, clean, small, and aesthetically pleasing. Most joints are hand-rolled in a very simple operation that's 1 part technical skill and 3 parts Zen philosophy. We can start with rolling papers. There are many brands of papers, and all of them work just fine. Papers can be any color, and you should choose appropriate paper for each event. For example, use black paper for funerals and formal outings, white paper for weddings, American flag papers for the 4th of July, and candy stripe papers for Christmas, and so on. Some papers have glued edges and some don't. I always get the glued ones as it makes for a more secure joint, and there are a few things worse than an insecure joint. What's more, I always roll a 2-paper joint because single-paper joints are fragile and tend to break easily. But first, an old trick I learned from the monks when I spent 10 years in a Zen monastery on Mount Fujiyama. Always take a toke before rolling a joint, as it elevates your consciousness to a proper Zen-like state and provides a spiritual quality in the finished product, like so. There. That ensures a perfect joint every time because all joints look good to the stoned eye. All right, take 2 papers like this, lick one edge of the glued edge of one, like so, and stick it to the unglued edge of the other paper. Then you make a 1/2 inch fold on the unglued edge of the paper in order to make a crease to hold the pot. Then you simply reach into your stash, put some marijuana, fresh marijuana, into that joint paper, and then roll it a la John Wayne in this fashion. Lick the glued edge again and stick it to the joint, and presto, you have a first-class joint that will draw the envy of everyone who doesn't have one. But what if you've got a touch of arthritis or the heebie-jeebies and you can't roll a joint? No problem. Get yourself a rolling machine that'll do the job for you. Of course, there's nothing very aesthetic about a machine-rolled joint. Thing looks like a Marlboro, for God's sake. You don't want to look like you're smoking tobacco. What would people think? So learn how to roll a proper joint by hand. Or if rolling joints is too much trouble for